Good morning, viewer. You're welcome to another episode of the Alaigbo Leadership Watch. In the first episode, we looked into the performance of Mr. Alex Oti and Mr. Peter Mba of Enugu State. In this particular episode, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be looking into the performance of two governors in Alaigbo. The first one being Professor Soludo of Anambra State and Mr. Fubara of Rivers State. Now, before we go into this, it is advisable that you go and see the first video before this so you get a feel of what this is all about. That is the thumbnail on the screen. Now, we'll be going straight into the performance of Professor Soludo of Anambra State. We have broken down his leadership into three main categories, which falls under economy, education, infrastructure, amenities, welfare, and the rest of them. And on the other side, we've broken them into two classifications, projects and utilities. It is important that you break it into projects and utilities so you know the ones that are project, things that are actually being put down in place, and things like utilities that were signed towards one means or the other. So we've broken them down into the two. In economy, we saw something known as regenerative agriculture, regional agriculture. He launched that, so we can see that that's towards the economy through an agricultural perspective. Okay. We also saw in education, 5,000 youths were trained in diverse vocational skills. So this is talking more about informal education, and also it goes towards the angle of skills acquisition. Also, in infrastructure and amenities, we saw the construction of the coordinated wholesale center for pharmaceutical products. Now, the current state of this project is not known. We know that it has been started. We don't know if it's been completed up to this time. Going back to the economy side, we saw the launching of the Farm to Feed campaign and also the inauguration of the board of the AIRS. Now, that's the Anambra Internal Revenue Service. So that one aside, on the education side, we saw the recruitment of 5,000 teachers into the primary and secondary schools in Anambra State. That is good, always good to look into education. We saw the establishment of the 1 Youth 2 Skills program. Now, this is also youth empowerment. It's not necessarily directed towards education, but we group it under education in the sense that it's a bit of informal education, 1 Youth 2 Skills. Okay. Now, we saw distribution of 2,000 laptops to head teachers across the government schools in the state. Okay, this is very good. Now, infrastructure and amenities, we also saw the promised transformation of Ekulobi into a model city. Now, this is a mega project, so to say. The place is going to be upgraded to a city. It is very good. There's a flyover, there's police stations, there's water project going on. So a lot of things there. This is very massive, and this is very good for the state. In infrastructure and amenities, continuing going further down, we saw the commissioning of the Solution Innovation District. Now, the exact function of this, the exact running of this, the exact scope of this is unknown. It was just saying commissioning of Solution Innovation District. We don't know exactly what is going on there. Okay. Now, we saw the construction of 12-kilometer network of asphalted roads in Opoko. We saw the construction of a section of the old Oko-Onitsha Expressway. This is very good. I believe this is supposed to be a federal road. If I'm not mistaken, we saw a construction of a section of it. That's good. Commissioning of model stores in Angola. Okay, there were some stores that were set up in Angola, and Professor Soludo commissioned them. Now, on the utility side, we saw the increased salaries for public servants by 10%. Very good. We also saw the reduction of the IGR being gotten from some of the transport workers. The charges were reduced also. We saw the signing of 13 MOEs with local and foreign investors. Very good. That's towards economy. Now, on the education side, we saw the expansion of free education policy to include the senior secondary school. Very good. We saw the granting of 1.524 billion naira to mission schools in Anambra State. So this is a grant used to support them. This is very good. Flagging off of the clean, green, and sustainable Anambra. So probably something towards eco-friendly, initiative. We saw the launching of Agune Chamber of Dugachi security operation. Now, this one is most recent. Now, we see the commissioning of a chain of market stores in Oka. Also, we saw the commissioning of 26-kilometer Mansudu Kwenu Awa Ufuma Road. Commissioning that has been completed and commissioned. Very good. We saw the flagging off of 14.48 Unizik Obon Oka Isu and Yocha Road. Very good flagging off there. So it's supposed to still be under construction or almost completed. We saw the construction of general hospitals at Fege, Anako, Urome, Titi, and several other places. So general hospitals, very good. We saw the renovation and re-equipping of hospitals at Umere, Kulobi, Enugu, and some other places. So renovation, re-equipping of hospitals, very, very good. We saw the commissioning of Ezira Achina Road. So commissioning has been completed. That's very good. We saw on the utility side, we saw the free antenatal signed for pregnant women in the state, across the state. This is exceptional, okay? Now we'll go to the third page. Now, before we go to the third page, you can see here now from this second page that on this side, nothing else has been done towards economy and education. You can see on this side that the amenities keeps going down. It's being done, the infrastructure and amenities, but nothing towards economy and education. So we keep that in mind as we scroll further down. Now we'll go to the third page. This is more or less the final page. We'll see yet on the infrastructure and amenities side, the recruitment of 1,000 workers into primary and secondary healthcare facilities. Now we saw the dualization of the Amobi and Golonanka Ekulobi Oga Road. So there's a dualization going on. We saw the launching of the Solution Fund City project. Now this is supposed to be, I don't know if I can say it's like a real estate project of the government. Then we saw the revival of the urban and rural water scheme. We should not be talking about water issue at this point of human societal development, but here we are anyway. Now on this side also, you can see that the economy and education, nothing is being done. It's just ... there, okay? Empty. Now this is a compilation of all the achievements of the Anambra state government in 34 months of Professor Charles Soludo leading the state. Now 34 months is about 3 years, okay? Now I may have been reading all this and you might not be able to picture what is going on exactly until you scroll down and see the scorecard, okay? So now we'll scroll down a bit and then we'll see the scorecard. Now if you combine all that has been done, this is the table. This project and utilities on the left hand side. Then you see the economy, education, infrastructure and amenities also. Now if you are to tabulate all that has been done thus far, you will see that 3 projects have been done towards the economy, 2 utilities have been signed towards the economy. You see that in education, 4 projects have been done towards education and 2 have been done as utilities towards education. In the infrastructure side, you see 16 infrastructure and amenities projects going on or have been completed, and we see utilities 4 utilities, okay? If you look at this currently, you can then see that economy and the education side is lagging a bit behind, because you can see for economy is 5, for education is 6, but for infrastructure and amenities is 20. Now you're not saying that infrastructure and amenities are not important, but if you're going to do it at the disadvantage of education and economy, then there's a problem, okay? So only 5 things or 3 major projects have been done towards economy, and we know Professor Charles Soludo to somebody who is supposed to be an expert in economy, but however, looking at the scorecard in 34 months, only 3 major projects have been done towards economy. In my own personal view, this is not good enough. Now the whole performance is just a bit here and there. It's not very focused, but we'll go down and see the final tabulation, okay? Now after 34 months of governance of the Soludo government, we have seen 31 projects and utilities signed or executed. If you tabulate all this, you add them together, you get 31 projects and utilities signed or executed in 34 months of governance. Now what this means is that Soludo is currently signing about 0.91 projects per month, 0.91 projects or utilities per month, and the score is 45.58%. That is Soludo's score as of today. He is signing 0.91 projects and utilities per month out of an expected 2. The very minimum is 2 projects and utilities every month. That is 1 project and 1 utility every month as a governor. But currently Soludo is signing 0.91, so it's not up to 1. Okay, the score is 45.58%. In another representation, you can take it that it is 31 projects and utilities signed or executed out of an expected 68. If you understand the tabulation being done here, Soludo has completed 31 out of an expected 68. The score is the same thing, 45.58. So this is his performance. I'm telling you that this is not what the Igbo people generally expect from a man in the caliber of Professor Charles Soludo. This is the score of his governance. No two ways about it, no propaganda, no bluffing, no jokes. This is the reality on ground. 45.58% is his performance in 34 months of governance. In 2 months' time, it's going to be 36 months. That is 3 years. So in 3 years, this is what Professor Charles Soludo has done in Anambra State. I must tell you that this standard is poor. In fact, I think by the Nigerian grade system in tertiary education, this is about a D score. Okay, so this is the professor we're talking about, and he's getting a D score in performance. Then I don't really know what to say about that, but I must tell you on my personal view, I'm not gonna hide it. This is not good enough. Okay, this is not good enough by any standard. So this is the conclusion for performance of Professor Charles Soludo in 34 months of governance in Anambra State. We're going straight into the next governor we'll be looking at in this particular episode, and that is Mr. Fubara. Okay, just stay with me as we look into the performance of the next governor. Now I welcome you back as we look into the performance of Mr. Fubara of Rivers State. Now we're not going to waste time, we're going to go straight into it, okay? It's the same categorization from the previous part of the video, so we're just continuing in that same vein, okay? Now in economy, we saw the inauguration of the Port International Automobile Spare Parts Trading Center. So we don't know the exact operation of that place as of today, but we saw that it's been inaugurated. We saw the inauguration of the Rivers State Investment Promotion Agency. Okay, so something towards investment in Rivers State was set up, a board, an agency board. Okay, now in education, we saw the supply of resource material to several secondary schools in Rivers State, including government secondary school KEH, comprehensive secondary school LSLM, government primary school Borokiri, government secondary school Amoha, government secondary school Eneka, and government schools got abandoned. So this was what was done towards education, the supply and distribution of resource materials to some public secondary schools in the state. That's very good. Now infrastructure and amenities, we saw the flagging of the 50-kilometer Port Harcourt Draw Carriage Ring Road. Very good. We saw the awarding of the Andoni Road project to MCC Limited. We saw the commissioning of a link road, 11.8 kilometer Alaigbo link road. We saw commissioning of Alete Bubu Etio Road in LMA local government. So this is commissioning, that is the roads were started and completed. Okay, we've seen the commissioning of Igbo Huda internal roads. We've seen some roads in LLM1, that is for the infrastructure and amenities. And now we'll come down to the utility side, the launching of the Rivers State Bank of Industry MSME loan. So a very, very substantial amount, about 3 billion or thereabouts, was given out to the small and medium micro businesses like that. We saw the inauguration of the new Rivers State secondary school and UBE board. Okay, so something towards education. Now we'll go to the second page. Okay, now on the infrastructure and amenities side, we saw the roads continuing along that same vein. So Emo Haobakiri Road, the construction of Ogo Accra Street in Port Harcourt Township. We saw the road that was done 33.5 kilometer Lele Omoku Road. We saw commissioning of the 6.55 kilometer Okania Road. We saw commission of the rehabilitated or culture road in Obiakpo. Now, if you can see from what we've been saying here on the second page, also we can see that nothing is being done towards the economy and the education in Rivers State apart from infrastructure and amenities. So this is the second page. Nothing else was done except infrastructure. Now we'll scroll quickly down to the third page. Also, infrastructure and amenities continues. The flagging off of 33.5 road, flagging off of 33.5 kilometer road dualization. We saw completion and commissioning of the 21.6 Omoko Eboma Road. Very good, completed. We saw commissioning of Andoni Opobo section of the Ogoni Andoni Opobo Road. Very good, commission. We saw commissioning of Ebeda Roads, commissioning of 14.1 Umo Akalieberi Road in Omuma local government. Very good. We saw commissioning of 14 kilometers of internal roads in Bori, Kana local government. Very good. So once again, we can see that nothing else is done towards economy and education. We are taking note of that. Now go to the next page and it continues on the infrastructure and amenities side. Commissioning of Kalabem section of the Kalabem Belema Road. We saw flagging off of the 19.7 Bugrima Abalama Tema Degema Abanema Road. We saw construction of 20,000 housing units in Ikwere local government. That is very, very good. We saw reconstruction, upgrading and equipping of 2 secondary healthcare hospitals. Very good. We saw presentation of 100 vehicles to Rivers Police Nigeria to boost security. Very good. We saw reconstruction work of Rivers State, 3 major fire service stations at my 1 and 2 other places like that. So this is very good. Also, we can see here that nothing much is done towards the economy and education. So if you then take all this and you tabulate, if you take all that has been recorded in the Mr. Fubara government and you tabulate it, now this is what you get. Now this is the scorecard. We'll scroll down to the scorecard. Okay, now we are seeing something that says in economy, the project that has been done towards economy is 2, and the utility done towards economy is 1. So in general, only 3 things have been done towards economy in about 20 months of governance of the Mr. Fubara government. So just 3 things have been put in place for the economy of the state. I don't know why the government does not prioritize the economy. The economy is the most important actually. Okay, so the education, we see 2 things. We saw distribution of resource materials to some secondary schools, and we saw also the setting up of the UBE board, the new Rivers State UBE board. So 2 things have been done towards education. This is particularly shocking because Currently, Rivers State is part of the educationally less developed state, so you would think that more should be done towards education to help the state to pick up or catch up with the rest of the state that are doing well in education. But lo and behold, nothing has been done towards education. It's like Rivers State does not value education. I don't know. In the current world of today, education is of utmost priority. So only thing is, two things have been done towards education in the Rivers State under the Mr. Fubara government. I don't know why that is the case. Now you go also to the infrastructure and amenities side. So what you're seeing here is an oversized attention being given to infrastructure and amenities to the detriment of economy and education. 24 on just one side, and the rest is just about 5 in combination. I don't know why there's this oversized, attention towards infrastructure and amenities, and the economy is not being looked into. The education is not being looked into. Okay, so going further down to see the breakdown of the government so far, we see 29 projects and utilities signed or executed. 29 projects and utilities signed or executed in 20 months of governance of the Mr. Sim Fubara administration. And this breaks down to about 1.45 projects and utilities per month out of an expected 2. So what we're saying is that out of 2 projects and utilities expected every month from a governor, Mr. Sim Fubara has signed or executed 1.45 in his 20 months of governance. So this is quite impressive. But I know that all the attention is towards infrastructure and amenities, and other sides are lacking. But he's doing the infrastructure so much that he pulls up his score anyway. So this is 1.45 projects and utilities, and it is 72.5%. If you take it in under representation also, this means that he has done 29 projects and utilities signed or executed out of an expected 40. Okay, out of an expected 40, he has been able to deliver or at least sign or begin 29, and the score is still 72.5. okay, so 72.5 is quite an impressive score, I must say, even if it is directed too much to one angle and the rest are suffering. So this is a score in 20 months of governance. We hope that priorities will be shifted to these other parts also, economy and education. These things are important. You don't overlook them if you're looking to build a very, very solid state and a solid society. You cannot overlook the economy and the education. These things, the government can do them. Why they refuse to do them, I don't know at this time. So this has been the Alaigbo Leadership Watch, and we'll be looking at the performance of Professor Soludo, who scored about something percent, that's about 45%, and Mr. Sim Fubara, who has just scored some 2.5% in both of their tenures so far. Okay, so make of this what you will, but this is the reality, and try to pay more attention to your leadership in Alaigbo. It is extremely important that you follow up with what is being done by the governors. You cannot allow the governors underdevelop your state in about 80 years that they will be ruling. So keep watch of your leadership. This has been the Alaigbo Leadership Watch, and we will carry out another episode maybe sometime in the future. Okay, thank you very much for listening.